Hello everybody, it's George here. Today we're back on some Genshin Impact, and today we have another guide video for another character. Today we're going to be doing Kazuha. He is one of the best characters in the game, and the reason we're going to be talking about him is because I believe after the Yoimiya banner, we're going to have a Kazuha banner, and it's been almost a year since the last Kazuha banner, which means so many new players that maybe saw him in the story or saw YouTubers play with him really want to get him, but they don't know how to build him. So that's what we're going to go through in this video. We're going to go through how to build Kazuha. We're going to go through basically every little thing about him, so that when he comes out, and when I hope anyone watching this gets your Kazuha if you want him. When you do get him, you're going to know how to build him, and all of kind of the miscellaneous stuff that comes with that. So as I said earlier, Kazuha is one of the best characters in all of Genshin Impact. He originally hails from Inazuma, but he commonly travels on Baido's ship all around Teyvat, a temporary crew member of the Clerks. As Anima is one of the best elements in the game, and Kazuha is a 5-star, he's naturally going to be a very good character, but his long-term dominance over the game was almost unprecedented. With the advent of Dendro, his usage rate fell slightly, but he's still one of the premier characters in the game, and a massive boost to any account that manages to pull him. Despite pulling from it every opportunity, I've actually lost 50-50 on him every single time. However, he's got an upcoming banner. I'm going to be pulling for him then, and I wanted to know how to build him, so I did my research despite not having him and compiled it into this video, which I hope will help all of you. Okay, moving on to Ascension. There isn't a lot of things to say about Ascension when it comes to Kazuha, apart from that, like, everything with Kazuha, he scales off Elemental Mastery, and in my opinion, you should attempt to get him to level 90 if possible, although you should prioritise taking your main DPS to 90 first, unless you really like Kazuha. That's not to say that Kazuha can't play main DPS, however, he's much better supported to a Swirl Elemental Mastery type role than he is to be his main DPS. You can build him, he's a competent main DPS, it can be done, and you can make him very good, but I would probably not. He works really well with Raiden Shogun, and if you're going to be using him in the same team as Raiden Shogun, obviously the Raiden Shogun is going to be your main DPS in that situation, because it's the Raiden Shogun. Okay, moving on to weapon. Kazuha is a character that almost entirely focuses on elemental mastery, and he has a signature weapon that facilitates this. Naturally, that's his best weapon, and that weapon is the Freedom Sworn Blade. Sorry. He does have two free-to-play options, with the, I actually don't know how to say this one, I think it's the Xiphos, it's spelled Xiphos, Moonlight, and the Iron Sting. So if you have those, then I suggest you put them on for a decent substitute for the 5-star option. As I say, the Freedom Sworn is a fantastic weapon for Kazuha, as it is his main one, so I do suggest you try and get it if you can. However, it's not as necessary as on a character like Ito, for example, where I'd probably say it's much more necessary. Okay, next up we have artifacts. Artifacts are very important for any well-built character, but on Kazuha it's incredibly important. He's one of the best recipients for the Viridescent Vanilla artifact set, also known as the one that is used on Sucrose and occasionally Venti. The stats that you want to look for is Elemental Mastery to every given opportunity, and for sub-stats you want to try and get Elemental Mastery. Now, I have mentioned it a lot, so I thought I'd just say at this point that Elemental Mastery is essentially the amount of damage that elemental reactions from a certain character can do. So for someone who facilitates elemental reactions like Kazuha, it's a massively important stat. So you either want to get that on your substats or Elemental Recharge. Obviously you know what that is. You can also use a Gilded Dream set if you must, and you're looking for the same substats, but realistically, the Viridescent Vanilla set, you're going to want to grind it if you're really serious about building Kazuha properly. You know, he's one of the characters that really likes that set. You can also look for crit rate and crit damage on the substats as well. In terms of best teams, there are several very high-tier teams that Kazuha shines in, the best of which, in my opinion, is a Hyper Bloom team, which obviously involves Kazuha, but also Nadia, Kuki Shinobu, and Ayato. This team revolves around Ayato as the main DPS, a character that I actually do have, who works well with Kuki Shinobu, with Nadia facilitating Bloom and Hyper Bloom. Where Kazuha comes in and makes this team so much better is he's going to increase the damage of the team as a whole and apply Shred to enemies, which is huge, and he's also going to increase the elemental mastery of characters at a higher constellation, enabling higher reaction damage. And in this team, Kazuha is all about reaction damage. He makes those Bloom, Hyper Bloom, that Ayato damage so much higher, and he's so good in that situation. Okay, I'm making this nice and snappy. I didn't feel like wasting anyone's time. Obviously, there are more in-depth guides around, but I feel like this is a pretty good one to get you started off. So we're just going to dive right into the conclusion. Kazuha is one of the greatest characters in the game. His ability to engage with and essentially supercharge reactions is simply superb, especially in this reaction-based meta that we're currently in. RIP to my Mono Geo team. He's simply incredible. So I hope you've all enjoyed this whistle-stop tour through Kazuha, and I hope it's helped you build Kazuha to the best of your abilities. So thank you all for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.